This is Jupiter. It is a giant gaseous monster. If you think you know everything about Jupiter, think again. My name is Jarman Singh Gill, and you're watching Nature&Science. So, if you are a space enthusiast, then join us and subscribe this channel. So, how massive is Jupiter? Well, the mass of Jupiter is 318 times as massive as the Earth. In fact, Jupiter is 2.5 times more massive than all of the other planets in the solar system combined. How far is Jupiter from Earth? Because both planets travel in an elliptical path around the Sun, Jupiter's distance from Earth is constantly changing. When the two planets are at their closest point, the distance to Jupiter is only 365 million miles, 588 million kilometers. Due to its great mass, Jupiter's magnetic field is 14 times stronger than Earth's. Compasses would really work on Jupiter. That's because it has the strongest magnetic field in the solar system. Astronomers think the magnetic field is generated by the eddy currents, for example, swirling movements of conducting materials within the liquid metallic hydrogen core. This magnetic field traps particles of sulfur dioxide from Io's volcanic eruptions, which producing sulfur and oxygen ions. Together with hydrogen ions originating from the atmosphere of Jupiter, these form a plasma sheet in Jupiter's equatorial plane. Jupiter has 67 moons. As of the penning of this article, Jupiter has 67 confirmed and named satellites. However, it is estimated that the planet has over 200 natural satellites orbiting it. Almost all of them are less than 10 kilometers in diameter, and were only discovered after 1975, when the first spacecraft, Pioneer 10, arrived at Jupiter. Jupiter is the fastest spinning planet in the solar system. For all its size and mass, Jupiter sure moves quickly. In fact, with a rotational velocity of 12.6 kilometers per second or 45,300 kilometers per hour, the planet only takes about 10 hours to complete a full rotation on its axis. And because it's spinning so rapidly, the planet has flattened out at the poles a little and is bulging at its equator. Jupiter has the Great Red Spot. It is one of its most familiar features. This persistent anticyclonic storm, which is located south of its equator, measures between 24,000 kilometers in diameter and 12 to 14,000 kilometers in height. As such, it is large enough to contain 2 or 3 planets the size of Earth's diameter. And the spot has been around for at least 350 years, since it was spotted as far back as the 17th century. Do you know that Jupiter has rings? When people think of ring systems, Saturn naturally comes to mind. But in truth, both Uranus and Jupiter have ring systems of their own. Jupiter's were the third set to be discovered, after the other two, due to the fact that they are particularly faint. Jupiter's rings consist of 3 main segments: an inner torus of particles known as the halo, a relatively bright main ring, and an outer gossamer ring. Jupiter was first visited by NASA's Pioneer 10 spacecraft in December 1973, and then Pioneer 11 in December 1974. Then came the Voyager 1 and 2 flybys, both of which happened in 1979. This was followed by a long break until Ulysses arrived in February 1992, followed by the Galileo space probe in 1995. Then Cassini made a flyby in 2000, on its way to Saturn. And finally, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft made its flyby in 2007. This was the last mission to fly past Jupiter, but it surely won't be the last. Jupiter is the third brightest object in the solar system, after Venus and the Moon. Chances are, you saw Jupiter in the sky, and had no idea that's what you were seeing. And here at Nature&Science, today, we are in the habit of letting viewers know when the best opportunities for spotting Jupiter in the night sky are. Chances are, if you see a really bright star high in the sky, then you're looking at Jupiter. Get your hands on a pair of binoculars, and if you know someone with a telescope, that's even better. Using even modest magnification, you might even spot small specks of light orbiting it, which are its Galilean moons. Just think, you'll be seeing precisely what Galileo did when he gazed at the planet in 1610. Well, that's all for today. I'm Jarman Singh Gill, and this is Nature and Science, over and out. Don't forget to subscribe our channel.